So after you've got your sound files and your video files in order and mixed, it's time to do text. So if you come to this first block, that's going to be your title, which is what you're going to call your film. And you will probably want to put that at the very beginning. So you select title, it'll go right here. And you've got this space over here, and you've got different colors you can play with. Drop if you want to add shadows, make it animated. There's a lot of fun stuff you can do. How big you want it, what kind of a font you want. Maybe you want something a little creative, something a little wild, something more classic. Just decide what you want. You want it to be easy to read. Okay, so I'm going to go with Anton. And I'm going to edit here. And then I'm thinking I want to change the color because that black on green's not popping. So my text color, let's see, white. I think white looks better actually. But I could also choose different colors. I could choose all these different colors down here. I'm going to stick with white though. So there I've got my white text. And see here is I can make it longer or shorter. Maybe I don't want it to be right at the beginning. Maybe I want to have a little footage and have the title come in there. And then you can decide how you want it aligned, if you want it centered or to the left or to the right. You can decide your drop shadow. See, that gives a little definition, kind of like that. You can edit your text at any time by doing that, and you can animate it. So you want it to come in, do lines, fade in, underline, reveal, typewriter, scale, frame. You get to choose. I think for mine, I'll do reveal. So again, select it. I want to give enough time to read it.
But a number of things came through actually,
And then once she really starts speaking, I'm going to want to add a text for her to say, who is she? So probably subheadline is what we want. And we're going to want that lower. We're not going to want it right on her face, right? I probably want it over here. Remember, don't put any writing over here because I'm going to crop that out. So you want it above. You want all of your text above this because I'm going to crop some of this stuff out. And you don't want it to mess with any kind of closed captioning for YouTube. So keep your headlines over here, and you just, again, you select your item, and then you move it around. If you accidentally put 2 on there, just select delete, and you're okay. So I'm going to put hers here. I like it. There. I don't think I'm going to do Anton as this font because it's her identifier. Probably something a little bit easier to read. And then I'm going to choose a different color, especially since she's wearing a black shirt, probably white in this case. would be better for her. And I don't think it needs any drop shadow, but let me edit. Pencils, edit. Her name. And her title. I could do it that way, or if I prefer this way, title below her that way. And also change your size. Maybe I'll make the font a little smaller, which is still big. And then maybe I do want to have some drop shadow on there, just to make it a little crisper. Or maybe I don't like the way that font looks. Maybe we're going to pick something a little bit more easier to identify. See, something that's easy to read. You can go through all these and see which one you like the best. Remember, you want your people to be able to read it from the screen. And you can even put a fill color in the back if you want. But that's if you've got some hard to read backgrounds, you can do that. And if you go in here under colors, you can also choose colors and branding if you want to get really into it. But that's if you've got a paid membership. So going back to what we're at. So here, like I changed that to, so it would be a red background there. Because you can change it to red if you wanted. Okay, and I might animate it in. Maybe just fade in for hers. Yeah. And since it's more to read, I'm going to make it longer because you want to give people enough time to read the titles. So again.
But a number of things came through actually, community engagement, which was finding out what the people of Gary needed, what the citizens of Gary, and also those that.
On your very end, see how this is a nice black screen here if you don't have any footage on there? That's where you can put credits. Let's see what a headline looks like. You could do a headline as your credit, or you could do titles. Headlines are kind of in between, so it's kind of nice. And then you can always extend out your music to match how many of them you need. So, directed by, put your name here. Name. So, then you just like this. And then go back to text, add another headline. Oops. Music by name. You want to make sure everybody's got about the same length of time on the screen. You don't want to be that director where you give yourself a huge time and nobody else. So just like that. And then Again, going back to text. Just got to thank anybody like archive.org. You can put thank you. Archive.org. And you can always add more music if you need it. I would ask everyone to please thank the Indiana Arts Commission too. So, text. So everyone please put sponsored by the Indiana Arts Commission on the end of their title cards. I'd probably make it a little smaller since it's so long. Maybe center it. Okay. So then you'd see what's going on here. And I made the Indiana Arts Commission one longer since it's more to read. And then maybe just a little bit of music at the end. And then it naturally fades out, which is great. So now you've got your sound and your title. And then if you want to get real wild, you can add graphics. But that's usually more for social media. I wouldn't really recommend it for this. And if you're a paid member, you can do your logo right here. That would be if you paid for Vimeo. And that's for branding purposes if you want to make it public. And then the presentations, these aren't bad. These are more like if you want to do them like you're doing a PowerPoint and do an opener, it'll automatically animate stuff for you. It can kind of help you put them in there. They're fun to play around with. I encourage that after you get this part of the documentary done, but I would first do your whole documentary beforehand. So then you've got your whole thing all lined up.